Breaking news! There's a storm brewing behind closed doors, and everything we thought we knew about this team may be about to change. From the possible Tyreek Hill trade to a complete defensive overhaul, the rumors aren't just whispers anymore, they're alarm bells. The decisions being made now could define the future of the franchise for the next 5 years. I have details you won't find anywhere else, things that are flying under the radar, but not for long. And believe me, when this comes out, it will shake the fan base to its core. But before I delve into what I discovered, do this real quick. If you're a fan who truly bleeds aqua and orange, hit that like button, but only if you're chanting Go Dolphins amidst the highs and the lows. And in the comments, let me know you're with us saying, Go Dolphins! We deserve a Super Bowl. Okay, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you will leave you wondering, what's really going on behind the scenes in Miami? Now let's get into it. Tyreek Hill could be on his way out. Yeah, you heard that right. The rumors are real, and they're getting louder every day. After the Week 1 disaster against the Colts and another rough showing against the Patriots, insiders are saying the Kansas City Chiefs are seriously eyeing a reunion with their former star wideout. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk isn't just speculating anymore, he's doubling down, saying Kansas City wants Tyreek back. And while Adam Schefter reported that Miami hasn't taken any calls currently, we all know how to read between the lines. That word, *currently*, means everything is still very much on the table. With the trade deadline coming up on November 4th, anything can happen. Here's where things get even more interesting. If the Dolphins don't go on a serious run over the next 6 games, Bills, Jets, Panthers, Browns, Chargers, and Falcons, this team could find itself with a 3-5 record. And if that's the case, there's no question, Miami will become sellers at the trade deadline. At that point, Tyreek Hill isn't just the most valuable piece they could move, he's the obvious one. But it doesn't stop with Tyreek. Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and even Juden could all be on the move. Miami has to ask themselves a harsh but necessary question. Which of these veterans will still be relevant 2 years from now when this team is, hopefully, in legitimate Super Bowl contention? If Greer has even a shred of vision left, and again, that's a big if, he should be making calls. Sell high, stack picks, and reshape this team. Tyreek has been sensational, no doubt. He's separating from defenders, making plays, and if it weren't for Tua's missed opportunities or the O-line collapsing under pressure, his numbers would be even better. And that's the beauty of it. The tape doesn't lie. Teams looking at Hill see an elite weapon who is still torching defenses. Week 2, over 100 yards and a monster plus 24% completion over expected. That kind of performance, despite the dysfunction around him, boosts his trade value significantly. It's not unrealistic to expect a conditional 3rd-round pick that could become a 2nd, or even a solid 3rd and a 5th. Miami needs to capitalize while they still can. Of course, there's still a lingering issue, the domestic violence allegation from Tyreek's ex-wife. While no criminal charges have been filed, the NFL is still investigating, and they don't need a court ruling to drop a suspension. That shadow alone could complicate trade talks, at least until the league gives some clarity. But assuming things stay quiet on that front and Tyreek continues to ball out, Kansas City or any team desperate for offensive firepower might be willing to take the chance. The Chiefs are struggling offensively. They don't have Worthy, and Rashee Rice hasn't been enough. Could they swing big and bring the cheetah back to Arrowhead? But that's just one half of the story. The other crisis facing the Dolphins is the disaster in the secondary. The pass defense has been downright atrocious, dead last in the NFL in EPA allowed per pass play. The numbers are brutal. 236.5 yards per game through the air, tied for 2nd worst in the league in yards per play, and cornerbacks getting lit up left and right. Storm Duck gave up a perfect passer rating in just 1 game. Jack Jones lit up 72 yards and a 131.3 QB rating. Jason Marshall Jr., not much better. The only guy holding it together is Russell Douglas. And while he's been solid, the fact that he's your best corner says everything about the state of this unit. So here's the deal. Why isn't Stephon Gilmore already in a Dolphins uniform? He's a free agent. He's available. He's clearly better than what Miami's rolling out there right now. Sure, Asante Samuel Jr. isn't healthy, and James Bradbury looks done. But Gilmore still has juice and brings much-needed leadership to a young, confused secondary. It's almost criminal that Greer hasn't made that move yet. And if they're not going to sign Gilmore, then what about giving Juju Brents a shot? You claimed him for a reason. He's big, physical, rangy. Why not see what the kid can do? Jack Jones hasn't earned his snaps, and the Dolphins aren't exactly swimming in options. Something has to change, and fast. And here's where things take an even sharper turn. Because if the Dolphins do decide to keep Tyreek Hill past the trade deadline, they better have a real plan for how to fix the problems surrounding him. starting with Tua Tagovailoa and the offensive line. Let's not sugarcoat it. Tua has missed wide-open shots. Multiple, crucial, game-changing throws to Tyreek that could have altered the outcomes of both Week 1 and Week 2. And these aren't just oops moments. These are fundamental, inexcusable breakdowns in execution from your supposed franchise quarterback. The chemistry between Tua and Tyreek should be elite by now, and yet we're still seeing missed timing, underthrows, and red zone indecisiveness. Remember that 46-yard completion last week? It should have been a touchdown. Tyreek had the defense beat clean, but Tua underthrew him and forced a stop that killed all momentum. The fourth quarter comeback route? Missed. The Week 1 in-breaking route that was picked off? High and late. This is a problem. And if you're keeping Tyreek Hill on the roster through this season, burning cap space and refusing a potential haul of draft picks, then you're betting on Tua to figure it out now, not a year from now. Are we really ready to make that bet? Let's take this a step further. Suppose Miami wins 3 of the next 6. That's optimistic, but not impossible. Jets, Panthers, Browns, those are winnable. Even then, you're 3-5. The back half of the schedule? It's a meat grinder. Playoff caliber defenses, top-tier pass rushers, and quarterbacks who will take advantage of your broken secondary. What then? You're staring down a 6-11 season, no first-round pick, a bloated cap sheet, and a head coach whose entire offensive identity depends on explosive wide receiver play. And that brings us to Chris Grier, because this mess, it has his fingerprints all over it. How has this man not been fired? The secondary is a disaster because Grier whiffed in both free agency and the draft. The O-line still can't protect Tua. And year after year, it's been duct tape solutions and late-round gambles. Jack Jones? Bust. Storm Duck? Disaster. Jason Marshall Jr.? Liability. Only Russell Douglas, another vet, has held his ground. You know what that tells me? Grier doesn't know how to evaluate defensive backs. Period. And for a team trying to build around a high-powered passing game, not being able to stop the pass is unforgivable. The defense as a whole looks confused. There's no consistency in pressure, and when the pass rush does get home, the coverage can't hold long enough to capitalize. Bradley Chubb has been solid, but he's aging and expensive. Jalen Phillips is talented, but how committed is this front office to extending him long-term? Juden is trade bait at best. So if Grier has any sense left in that office, he should be working the phones right now, seeing what kind of value he can recoup from this crumbling foundation. And it's not just about survival this year, it's about positioning for the future. You want to build around Tua long-term? Fine, then go get the assets to build him a real offensive line. If you don't believe in him, even better, stockpile picks and get ready for the next QB class. But what you can't do is sit in no man's land, clinging to star players like Tyreek Hill while the rest of your roster falls apart. That's not building. That's wishful thinking. Let's talk solutions. First, sign Stephon Gilmore. Immediately. Bring in a proven veteran who can stabilize a secondary that's completely lost right now. You want to compete in the AFC East? You better be able to slow down Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, and even Mac Jones. Right now, the Dolphins can't stop anyone. Gilmore might not be prime Gilmore, but he's better than what you've got. He brings leadership, intelligence, and physicality, everything this secondary is missing. There's zero downside. Second, unleash Juju Brents. Seriously, what are we waiting for? You claimed him for a reason. Give the kid a shot. At this point, it's about identifying who's part of your future and who isn't. Jack Jones? He's proven what he is. Juju Brents, on the other hand, has the size, length, and upside to possibly grow into a starter. This is the time to find out. Third, flip the script at the deadline. If you lose 3 of the next 6, do the right thing. Sell. Move Tyreek Hill. Move Chubb. Move Juju.